We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. What's going on, everybody? This is
Hello
Mark Moore Jr.,
there.
and this is an opportunity for you to be a part of our online living room discussion. If you are a young adult, you know a young adult, you love a young adult, I need you to come on and share this quickly. And as you're coming in, let's see. I'm sharing it while I'm telling you guys to share. So let me see how this works here. So I need everybody to come in and let us know where you are watching from. I've got some amazing women of God with me tonight. They're going to help me lead this conversation, but you all are a part of that conversation. So when you come in, let us know where you're watching from. While they're coming in, ladies on the screen, how are you all doing? Let's start there.
Good.
Great.
It's definitely been an eventful week, to say the least.
That's one way to put it. I agree.
I feel well rested.
Yeah, very well rested.
We're gonna talk
I
about
feel
that.
good. I'm hungry right now, but
Amen.
overall,
Birmingham, Alabama.
I'm okay.
I see you, Alabama, on the map.
I see Detroit. Yes.
Who else do we have? Y'all
Got
tell me.
Indianapolis is coming in.
Let us know
Okay.
where you're watching from. Let me see. Okay, I shared. So let's see how that works. All right. Who else do we have? I see Sister Diggs is in the house.
Hey, Sister Diggs.
With the young adult.
Hey.
Good to see you, Sister Diggs. You got 60 more seconds. I need everybody to share. I need you to do it like right now because we got some major things that we want to talk about, and we do not have all night to do it. So I want you to come on in. I think we're up to 50. Well, no, okay, that was a jump. We went from 14 to 19. So shout out to the 5 more that just came in. We went to 22. There we go.
Exponential.
You're watching.
Yes, they're coming.
Yeah, do what Ayana said and share.
Sure. I was about to be like, hey, Ayana.
Hey.
There we go. There it is.
Hey,
We got another
Regina.
one. Hey,
Hey,
Tarja.
Tarja.
We're at 28. Can we get like 35 in the cyber sanctuary real quick?
We can definitely hit 50, guys. Let's do that.
Okay. Dream big. Swing.
Wow.
swing for the top. I love it. I love it. We're at 30. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I need a few more of you. Where are you watching from? I have not heard from 30 people yet. Sister Clark was yeah.
Aww.
Yes, you
My
are.
young-
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Especially on the internet. You can be whatever you want to be. So
You can be whatever you want to
you can
be.
catch us tonight, Sister Lester. Good to see you. Emerald, good to see you. All right, let's jump. Jewel, good to see you. Let's jump right into the conversation tonight. As I said a moment ago, for those that are coming in now, and thank you guys for sharing, I am Elder Mark Moore Jr. of the Faith Covenant Church, and we are super excited to bring some of what we do in person to our online friends and family. Of course, let me first, before I even introduce these amazing women that you see on the screen with me, let me first make sure you know that we at the Faith Covenant Church are absolutely praying for you and for yours in this just crazy time that we're in on so many levels, so many fronts. We want you to know sincerely that we are praying for you. In fact, every day, Monday through Friday at noon, around the noon hour, we're posting one of our ministers or leaders leading a prayer just for you. So we invite you to follow us on Instagram at FCC Atlanta. We, of course, invite you, if for whatever reason you have not liked this page, we invite you to do that now. But with that being said, I want to introduce, in fact, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And we're going to go clockwise, at least clockwise on my screen. So we're going to start with that young lady with the microphone in the picture behind her. Would you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you are real quick?
Hey, everybody. My name is Ayana McLean. I reside in Atlanta, Georgia.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go down to the Wonder Twins. Would you all tell us who you all are?
Love it.
Hello, everyone. I am Latoya Henry, Toya.
And I am Courtney Edwards, right here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, and let's jet across. Would you tell us who you are, ma'am?
Hey everybody, I am Sister Shaquavia. I live in Atlanta. FCC is my home church, and I'm happy to be here.
I love it. I love it. I'm glad. I should have had them introduce themselves early because we went up to 43 while they were talking. So we're almost at that Pentecost number, huh? We're almost at 50. I got at 50. Get close. But let's jump right into it. And thank you all sincerely for sharing. And young ladies on the screen, thank you all for being with us tonight. But we want to just have kind of a conversation because I think that in times like these, it is very important that we don't simply compartmentalize how we feel and just pretend that everything is okay when things are clearly not okay. We right now, as of today is what? The 8th? The 8th of May 8th, 2020. We are in the midst of a global pandemic. Thousands of people around the world are dying every day. The end of this coronavirus thing is not really in sight because the information keeps changing day to day. We all live in Atlanta, which is now the governor has busted Atlanta and Georgia wide open. So people are all out in the streets, driving, doing all kind of stuff. And on top of that, and we got to talk about this too, on top of that, we as people of color are still suffering from the effects of a pandemic that did not start in November of 2019. We are suffering from a pandemic that started in 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. It is unsafe, even in these United States, even in 2020, to now jog while black. There are so many things going on because of all of these things. I know that a lot of us as young adults we have questions. We have questions for God. We have questions for government. We have questions of our family. We have questions for tomorrow. We have a lot of questions. And so let's just start and just jump head first into the conversation. How are you all, and whoever wants to go first, please feel free to do so. But how are you all processing everything that's going on right now? What is your mindset? And whoever wants to go first, please kick us off. What's your mindset with all of this?
I guess I'll start.
Go ahead, Shaquavia.
Well, coronavirus is one thing. I think when that happened, the uncertainty surrounding it and the fact that we don't know, it feels like we don't know if we're coming or going, and the numbers change daily, and it's like, oh yeah, the state is open, but it's not safe to go outside, but people are out. It's very there's no definitive information, it feels like, at least to me. And so that is a cause for anxiety almost. But I am safe, I'm with people, who are like family. So it's not me personally. It feels like I'm okay. But then at the same time, when is this going to end, and how much longer do we have to stay in the house? Because I'm good for, I had school to distract me, but finals are over now and school is over. And now I'm just like, I kind of want to go see my friends. Can we go to Juicy Crab? And I don't know if we can do that. And so it's just, feel like we're all over the place.
There's no social
but nowhere at the same time.
There's way too much.
And so it's just, I don't know, but I don't know how I feel, but I know I feel a lot of stuff. And so processing through that is a daily task for sure.
Yeah. What about the rest of us? Thank you for your transparency, Shaquavia. Ayana, how are you processing it before we hear from Courtney and Toya?
I am making sure to take it every day, just one day at a time. I'm a planner. I like to think ahead. And this has literally forced me to just live 24 hours by 24 hours, come what may. Like you said, the situation is very fluid. Information changes daily. Instructions are changing daily. So it's definitely been, I'm solely depending on God to show me what is coming next. Yeah. And that's been hard to do. And I didn't realize it until I got into it. Yeah. But it's been very necessary. been very humbling. And my heart breaks for people who are in a situation where they don't know where their next meal is coming from. They don't know how they're going to feed their children. That's what really breaks me. Times weren't hard before this. This really made things more difficult.
Yeah. Courtney, Toya, talk to me. How are you all processing all of this?
Sometimes it hits me, and other times I somewhat feel numb to it, which is a dangerous place, but it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. And I'm very grateful for the essential workers. What I'm very grateful for are the lives that are going on.
Yeah.
The preaching that's still going forth. That's what's really keeping me together.
So for me, and I'm not, y'all know I'm not no Bible scholar, and I'm definitely not trying to sound super spiritual, but since all
Why
of
don't you
this
quote a scripture in Hebrew or something? Come on.
Right.
In the Greek.
Truly, I have not, y'all. It's horrible, it's a lot going on. But to be honest, from the time that it started, the time that my boss said, pack your things and go home, and we're not coming back until this is over. There has not been one single moment of panic. There has not been one single moment of anxiety for me. There has not been one single moment of what are we going to do? There's been not one single moment, and I'm so grateful for that. And again, it's a horrible situation. I'm so very thankful for those who are working nonstop every day, these essential workers. I'm thankful for, but I'm also thankful for the time. I needed this time.
Yeah, girl.
I needed the time. I work at a law firm. I'm always so busy. I don't have time to sleep half of the time. So for the first week or two, I think I just slept. I didn't even have time to process what was going on because I'm asleep. I'm just trying to get some rest. But once after I slept it off and I started to get up and really realize, hey, this is a real thing. This is happening. Of course, like I'm thankful. I've not stopped work since this started. I'm just working from another place. And so I'm very thankful. And I'm just so full of gratitude. And, again, it's a horrible thing, but I haven't been panicked. I have not been panicked. And so Toya said, well, I feel numb. I don't personally look at it as me feeling numb. I count it as a blessing that I have peace in the pandemic. That's how I would look at it. And I'm praying for those who are, working. I'm praying for and the families of those who've lost people. But I have peace. I have a huge peace, and I'm thankful.
Y'all hear the preacher in her
Courtney,
voice?
have you ever?
Right.
Girl, she's preaching.
No.
Pass the offering bucket.
No. Ain't no preach. We ain't doing that now, y'all.
Y'all hear it in her voice.
Courtney, have you ever felt guilty for that? Because I have moments where it's like I feel where you're coming from because I feel like I'm experiencing that same thing. But then when I think everything else surrounding it's like, but the world is in a panic. And so then I feel kind of this place of guilt to where it's like, why am I so okay? If that makes sense. Like, do you have those moments?
I don't think I've had a moment where I felt guilty. And actually, it's funny you should say that because I was speaking with somebody just yesterday and I told them these words. I said, when God gives you peace, the whole world can be burning around you and you can lay down and sleep. So I haven't necessarily felt guilt because I do feel like the peace that I have, it is that peace that surpasses all understanding. And I feel like it's a peace from God. So I don't necessarily feel guilty. But of course, like I said, I'm praying for people and praying for those who have been affected, but I'm thankful that I haven't been, and I don't take it as guilt, so I have not felt guilty for not being
in a state of panic. Mm-hmm.
This is a good discussion. When we get back to the physical building, whenever that is, I'm gonna let Courtney sit in my chair.
Turn her loose.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna let her sit in my chair. One, she got a little preach on it tonight, but more importantly, I'll be honest with you guys and say I don't know if I've had the same testimony. Maybe I believe, but helped out my unbelief because I've found myself in moments of, I don't want to say fear, but definitely moments of stress. I'll say that. I know God has not given us a spirit of fear, power of sound mind. And I think that sometimes it's the sound mind that he has given us that causes us to kind of process some of those anxieties around the situation. I think what made it real for me is that when the situation first started, when the whole outbreak took place, to be honest, it was another CNN headline about something happening on the other side of the world that had nothing to do with us. It's people I've never heard of, places I've never been. It wasn't real. And then if you guys think back, it went from people you've never heard of, places you've never been, to people that you've never met, but you have heard of. I remember when the CNN update said Tom Hanks test positive for coronavirus. Like, Tom Hanks?
Idris?
Forrest Gump?
Right.
He got corona?
Right.
Then the NBA players started getting it. Then Idris Elba got it. And I'm like, wait, these are people that I've heard of. I don't know them. But man, this is crazy. It's not over here yet, so we're good. But I guess you don't need to travel internationally. But it went from people you've never heard of to people you've heard of. And then it came, and now it's at the place where it's like people you know.
No.
Yeah.
There are literally people that I preached for less than a year ago that are dead today from this. Not car accidents, not, home invasion or anything horrible like that. Something horrible like this. I'm like, I actually knew him. I have a picture with my arm around his shoulder. People at my conference. People there are several people that were at my conference in August of 2019 that are no longer living today because of this. So when I'm looking at that, I'm like, man, this is getting real. And I think what kind of made it real for me, two things. One, when I realized that this is affecting people in a certain age group, specifically in a more lethal way. And at first I was like, oh, I'm good. But then I realized, wait a minute, my parents are actually in that age group. And that's when I was like, wait, what? Like, what? This is, so now I find myself nervous, to kind of go home because I'm like, wait, did I sanitize properly? Did I spraying up Lysol down? I'm wearing Lysol like Axe body spray right through here just because I want to kill everything. So it's that piece. And then for me personally, I have not been still. I have not been out of an airport this long since I was 18 years old. Literally, this is the longest I have ever been home in over a decade.
Wow.
Literally.
Running for the Lord a long time.
I'm looking at my calendar and I had so many dope places that I was supposed to be that I cannot go because they got, I'm talking about like 40 engagements gone that fast. So for me, it's not just the fun part of, I like to travel. That's a major piece of income. Okay. So now I'm like, well, wait, how I'm going to eat. Right. So it's a lot. Do you guys think that maybe we're being desensitized because there's such a steady flow? Like the news with this is not coming through a garden hose. It's coming through like a fire hydrant. And it's just constant, nonstop, in your face. Do you guys think that that's desensitizing us?
Toya.
Talk to me, Toya.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Thank you, Ayana.
We hear it all the time.
You know what? Let me say something though, because when you said that, it just sparked something in me. Maybe the reason why my outlook is so different on this, and I have been able to be in such a peaceful state, I stay away from the news.
Okay. That's why you ain't scared. You don't know what's going on outside. That's what's wrong.
And I purposely, and sometimes the shade room is my source. I know when it's real bad, shade room gonna talk about it. But as far as like ABC, NBC, Fox, I really made it a point to stay away because I do believe that sometimes, and thank God for the news, but sometimes they'll really hype you up on some stuff. with some alternative facts. And I just, I don't always watch it because one, it will give you anxiety it gives me anxiety through the roof. I understand that this is stuff that we need to know, we need to stay up to date, but I think a lot of it is overhyped. So I intentionally don't just continually watch it. So that may be why I feel the way I feel, because I haven't.
Exactly why you feel the way you feel. You don't know what's going on. That's why you ain't see her. I'm fat. I'm just the world is on fire.
He doesn't know the severity of the situation at hand.
But no,
I
seriously.
call her and tell her what's going on.
That's her source.
What I know is that there's a global pandemic. I know that there are people still very ill. I know that, people are working and people are trying to find a cure. Like, I know what I need to know. I'll say that. But I don't just sit there and constantly watch for an update. Like, okay, is it over yet? Okay, is it over yet? Okay, are we getting anywhere yet? Did they find a cure yet? Like, I don't watch it for that, because I feel like I'm just press pause, let God do his thing, and I'm going to hear when something breaks, when something else breaks that I need to know, I'm going to hear about it, And so I guess that's why I haven't been watching.
Let's pivot. Let's pivot for a second, because I think this conversation about being desensitized, desensitization, there we go. I think that conversation really bleeds over into the other, dare I say, hot topic or major conversation piece. And that, of course, literally took place down the road from us.
That's all I thought about when you said desensitized.
Yep.
So, and of course, we're talking about the tragic slaying of our dear brother. And let's be very clear. I know some of us are rejoicing that the murderers, the thugs that did it, were arrested.
That means absolutely
Let's be very clear. They were not arrested because the police saw the video. They were arrested because we saw the video.
Right.
And speaking of that video and this piece of being desensitized, I don't know how many people send it to me, and I refuse to watch it because I
haven't watched it either.
I don't want this in my spirit. We're not built to internalize that. And more importantly, what I said to someone, and I think it resonated when I said it, I said, even though I'm not watching this video, I've seen it already.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know what happens. We've heard this song. And I'm wondering, let me ask you guys about this situation. Are we being desensitized to the tragic loss of Black lives? Specifically, not exclusively, but overwhelmingly Black male lives.
Black male lives.
Are we numb to this now? What do y'all think?
We are numb to it because it has become a norm for us.
Just another hashtag.
This is another hashtag that, like you said, it's the same exact story. It's just a different name. That's all it is. A different name and a different date. And unfortunately, this happened back in February, at the end of February, before this pandemic took over our
Black History Month.
Right, during Black History Month, right here in the South. But we have become desensitized to this because it is a norm for us now. We can look on this decade, and there's countless names that some we don't even know.
Many we don't even know.
Guys.
Yeah.
So there's this is happening. It's happening in our back doors, but we don't see it. We don't even know everybody's names, but there's been too many. The list just keeps getting longer and longer. But it's a norm for us. So we're used to it now. And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to know what is it that I can do? I'm not in law enforcement. I really am not really connected or anything like that. But what can I do? And because I feel like there's not a solution that I have, I feel helpless. But I closely relate to these people. These are my brothers that this is happening to.
Yeah. Shaquavia, weigh in on that. You were going to say something, Shaquavia, and then Courtney and Toya.
I would say like yes and no to the desensitization, being desensitized. I think this one, it hurts every time. Like I was just talking to a friend and I was like, this hurts every time. But to that same thought, or to Ayana's point, it has kind of become a normal thing. but it still hurts every single time. And I think this time this one was different because it's like he was jogging.
Right.
And I think, and I hope you hear my heart when I say this. It's like every other time it was like in my mind, it's like, well, my fill in the blank here, my dad or whatever Black man I love, you know, he wouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z.
He would
not justifying.
Yeah,
not justifying
right,
or making it okay that their lives were taken, but it gave me a sense of comfort, I think. But this time, he was literally jogging. And it's like, we can't jog
in his neighborhood.
And the funny thing is, so last 4th of July, we visited the beach near there, and we stayed in an Airbnb in that same city. And when we got lost at night, and I was like, can we please like get back to the Airbnb? Because I feel like white people just don't like Black people around here. Like it was just not it. And then like almost a year later, this man is jogging in that same town and he's killed. And the weird thing is that it was like a weird like family trip. It felt just so weird. They're father and son and they're just killing this Black man like that.
They've had conversation around this before. Here's what makes me upset. And it hasn't happened yet, thank God. But I cannot help but feel, if history is any indication, that it's going to happen. Right. Because anytime a person of color is killed, it's amazing that they somehow become the bad guy. Right. You could have smoked weed 10 years ago. You could have stolen a pack of candy from the dollar store in high school. Doesn't matter. You're a state representative now. You're a doctor. You're whatever. You're doing all these right things in the community. But they'll find some kind of way to make you the bad guy, which is the subconscious move to get people to say, "Oh well,
they deserve it.
He's a bad guy. He kind of deserved it." Only people of color can be killed and still be
criminalized.
Criminalized. And so that makes me angry. But then to see this really play out, I don't know if y'all saw this, but do you know on Facebook, unless Facebook has taken it down, they have a support group for the killers. And these God-fearing men, they need justice. All they did was try to protect their neighborhood, and he would not heed their commands. If people of color are supposed to heed the commands of strange white people with guns in these United States.
In these United States of America.
How do we I want to piggyback on what Ayanna said, and I'm coming to Courtney and Toya. You said, I feel helpless. And I think that a lot of people relate to that because we have this feeling of, I got it. Something has to be done.
Something has to be done.
Something has to be done. But number two, that something having to be done is just opposed to the fact that I have no idea what that something is or who the someone to facilitate the something is. Well, how do we process that? Courtney and Toya, talk to me. How do we process that?
You want to go first? So, it's very disturbing, and to just quickly talk about the numbness of it. For me, I'm never numb. I'm never numb when another innocent Black person is gunned down. It hurt when it was Trayvon. It hurt when it was Eric. It hurt just as much when it was Sandra. It's hurting now that it's Ahmaud. There was another young man just yesterday that I saw, and it's disturbing for me, a person who works in the law. It's disturbing that I have cases right down in that same area, right down in South Georgia. We see the cases come through all the time, and I'm thinking specifically of a case when it was a young Black man, nonviolent crime. I mean, he was prosecuted like that, like this.
Nonviolent crime. Let's stay there for a second.
Nonviolent. He called us. I need representation. Of course, we get right on it, just like this. But for this to have happened in the same place, same county, and this happened in February,
almost 3 months ago,
and in broad daylight.
Broad daylight, in the middle of the street. It's like the purge.
I'm disturbed because the very same energy that was had over a non-violent crime with a young Black man, I knew nothing. I was disappointed because I said, why didn't I know this? I knew nothing. Didn't hear any wind of it until day before yesterday when Toya called in and alerted me to what was going on. So to go to the question of what can be done, you guys, I work with these people. Like I work, this is what I do day in and day out. And I know the district attorney. We have worked with him. And so you call them, you call the office, you call them repeatedly, you write to them, and I think I saw a petition or something going around, which is probably why something happened in the first place. Like you said, they didn't get arrested because it happened. They didn't get arrested because
they got arrested because we found out about it.
They got arrested because we found out, and people started to speak up and do something. So never think that, Ayanna, I think that was you that said, I feel helpless, and I understand, but as people of color, we can don't feel helpless. We still have a voice, and we can use it. We can use it. We can always use our voice. So, it's sad to say that this may not be the last time that something like this happens, because they're comfortable now. They're comfortable doing it. Mm-hmm. They're comfortable shooting and saying we can get a slap on the wrist and then we go on about our way. Mm-hmm. But as long as we're here, as long as we got breath in our body, we're going to keep on. We're going to keep on talking about it, and we're going to keep on calling the district attorney, and we're going to keep on until justice is served. So don't feel helpless. Write your letters, sign your petitions, call the local district attorney's office. That's what we can do.
I don't want to dwell here for the duration of our time. We have a few more minutes left, but what I thought about two things. I was driving yesterday through a really nice neighborhood, and there was a young white man, 22 something years old, just jogging down the street. He had his AirPods in, his workout clothes, and it just hit me. God forbid anything happened to him, because we're still people of God. We don't want anybody to suffer hurt or harm. But I couldn't help but think, what would the news reaction and what would the response be if this young white man jogging through this nice neighborhood, if two Black men pulled up in a truck and shot him in the street and then went home that night because they're God-fearing men and they were just he looked suspicious. How different would the response have been to that? It made me feel almost, and I know we all remember the story of Emmett Till, young Black boy, viciously beaten, executed in the South, because it was said that he whistled at a white woman who years later recanted the story, but we won't even deal with that. Didn't face no charges. But what was crazy about the Emmett Till story is everybody knew they did it. They bragged about doing it. It wasn't a thing of, no, it wasn't us. We're sorry that it happened, but it wasn't us. They bragged about doing it, and they were still acquitted. So I think that part of what makes people of color feel away is that, we made enough noise and they got arrested. But how many people have we seen arrested for doing things that were wrong? Come here, George Zimmerman, and were arrested but later acquitted. So I think that this is an opportunity for us as people of faith, and especially young people, to pray and to take our prayer life to another level, and to remember that prayer is faith, but faith without works is dead. So like Courtney said, we absolutely have to keep praying, but we got to put the work in of not only calling the district attorney, but this is an election year. And I know we're all talking about the White House, but let me just be very clear for those that are listening. The President of the United States has almost nothing to do with the quality of life in your neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, very clear. Go ahead, Shaquavi.
I was just going to say, I was watching the Michelle Obama special on Netflix, and she was expressing her disappointment in the fact that when midterm elections came up, how we weren't really active in those. And that's what really affected the work that could be done in the White House, because Congress made it really very hard in the end because we didn't vote the right people into Congress, or we didn't vote at all for people to go into Congress. So I just wanted to reiterate, or, you know.
And to go even further, Shaquavia, not simply the White House, not even simply Congress, but we need to understand that who's in, who the sheriff of our county is.
That's true.
The elected officials, the district attorney, those are the people that affect the laws where we live. And we don't do anything about that. That's the work. We can pray all day, but again, prayer, faith, without works, the phone calls, the votes. How about this? Doing the hard part of actually being informed of the issues,
right,
on us. And if we won't do that, we really, I don't mean to be disrespectful to anyone, but we almost make our protesting and our marching of none effect, I'll say.
Right.
If we're doing all this talking and tweeting and hashtagging, we got to change this. But you won't get your dusty self up and go vote for the people that have the opportunity to make a difference. We got to do something different. Listen, we can't stay here for the last 7 minutes because we got to do something different. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because I need it. This is heavy. Shout out to Pastor Matthew Little in the comments. We thank God for you, sir. Shout out to Sister Teresa. We thank God for you. Shout out to Deacon George. We thank God for you and all of our other guests we haven't shared. Please, 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 please. Hey, Kayla, good to see you as well. Erica, Regina, everybody. Make sure you guys share for these last few minutes. But let me ask y'all a very, very, very direct question, and I need y'all to be honest. I don't know. I don't know where Toya went, but nevertheless, I gotta go watch the news for Courtney and me. I gotta go watch the news.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, here's the question that I have: are you all tired of online church yet?
Yes.
Be honest.
Yes. They're tired.
Ayana, what do you say? Oh, hold on, wait, Ayana. Before you say anything, everybody in the comments, let's show some love. Our pastor is in the house, y'all.
Bishop.
There he is. Thank you for sharing, Bishop. We appreciate you, sir. All right, Ayana, go ahead. Now that your pastor's on, I want to hear this answer.
Right.
And this is a good answer too for Bishop. Bishop, stay in for this answer. Because of my work schedule for the past 3 years, I haven't been able to go to church as consistently as I'd like to. And so a great thing that has come out of this season, I've been able to go to church every single Sunday and every single Thursday or Tuesday when we've had Bible study. I've been able to be consistent with that. And that was something that was on my heart before 2020 started. I'm like, Lord, I need to work. I need to be able to provide, but I would like to be in church. I like to be fed, and I actually go to a really good and effective church. So I like to be there and be present. So this has allowed, this season of chaos has allowed that for me. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I'm able to be in church consistently now, every week, after week.
Okay.
Teresa says she loves online church. So
I love our online church very much. Ours.
Okay.
Ours.
Toya, what are you saying about this?
I like online church, but I definitely miss being at church. When I first came to FCC, there was something about the presence of God when I walked into that building that just overwhelmed me. Like, it took me over. You can't see me. You guys can't see me. But
that's what happens when you're not in the camera.
That's what happens when my father calls 5 times. But no, so I definitely miss being in the house of God, but having online services, it's pushing my personal relationship to have that same level of anointing. Like, I can still feel his presence. It's pushing me to build my own relationship to feel that same thing.
Build an altar at home.
Right.
Yeah. What about you? What about
I miss my bishop.
Yeah, shout out to this fireplace. I wasn't gonna say nothing about it, but amen.
It's
everybody not able. That's all I'm.
No
everybody not able. Everybody not able. Ayanna got artwork up there, and all of y'all showing out tonight. Well, what are you saying, Courtney? What are you saying, Courtney?
So I really,
'Cause it's hard to run around your house, Courtney. I know it's got to be hard.
That's hilarious.
I'm not tired of online church. I actually love it very much. The only thing that I miss seeing it. Like I miss being able to hug y'all and feel y'all and touch y'all. I miss being able to run around that sanctuary because I need that run.
And you do it well.
That run keeps me. You hear me? So I miss that part of it. But I am not tired, like Toya said, and I was actually talking to someone else and they said the same thing. You know, being at home, it definitely you either gonna sink or swim. Like you're gonna draw closer, or
you're astray
on the way. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's definitely been drawing closer and just having that one-on-one time with God and just having that just the quiet space to be able to pray and meditate and just dwell with him. Just dwell. So I like it, and I love the online church. You know, people not going to keep it real, but it's not, you know, we are churches. We be churching. We church Sunday morning. We church Sunday night.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
We church on Friday night prayer. You know what I'm saying? So we do a lot of churching.
Yeah.
So the online church, Bishop be in there. He give you that hot word. It be hot off the press. He be like, all right, I'm going to see y'all, you know, on Thursday for Bible study. I'm going to see you on Sunday. So, you know, it's been good. I enjoyed it. And no, I'm not tired of it yet.
So we've got, okay, so Ayanna, great perspective, because she said, I haven't been able to be there like I want because of work anyway. I get that. You got Courtney that's saying, I'm not tired of online church. She likes this. Toya, which side were you leaning to again?
I'm ready to go back to church.
She's ready to be.
That's what I thought. So
ready.
you got Ayanna and Courtney that are kind of in line, and then you got Toya and Shaquavia. Shaquavia didn't even let me finish the question. I said, "Are y'all yes?"
Because I miss the little things though, like after 10:30 service, trying to figure out where we're going to eat. And then having to rush back for 5 o'clock service or be there by 4:45 because you got to start pre-service or trying to put like I miss the dumb stuff. Not even like online church is great, and I miss that too. I miss that fellowship too, like seeing Courtney run around the service and then seeing send Brianna into a praise in this corner, and then that send me to a praise right here. Like I don't know. I miss.
And then I hold up the wall.
I think we have a genuine love for one another, and I miss that. But I do like having Sunday dinner at home. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna hold you back. Like and be like, okay, it's time for church. All right, Bishop, give a good word. Amen. Dinner's ready. Well, let's go to the table.
Let's go straight to dinner from church.
Y'all be in church and at dinner at the same time. I can tell. It's almost like the Cine Bistros where you can watch the movie and eat. That's almost like
all day. That's necessary.
Dining theaters.
Y'all ain't saved. Y'all are not saved.
It only makes sense.
God is not pleased. So let me ask you this. How different, I'm not just talking about our church right now.
Okay.
But how different do you think church period will be across the board when this is over? Because I want to be, I don't know. I almost said I hope I'm wrong, but then again, I don't know if I hope I'm wrong or not, because maybe this has been a necessary shift to make us, I don't know, more effective or to get us back to our priorities or why, I don't know. And again, I'm not just talking about our church, but the church as a whole. But how different do you all think church will be when we return? I'll give you an example. I spoke with Bishop and I told him, I said, Dad, I'm just sitting here thinking, and when we come back, we're going to have to go to those prepackaged communion things. And he laughed. He was like, what? I said, because think about it. Nobody's going to want to walk around and put their hands in that plate no more. Like we have to get them little prepackaged with the little cardboard thing at the top. I hate those things, but we might have to do that. I don't know. We've been fussing and really trying to get our ushers and our people to sit front to back next to each other. Are we going to have to spread out now? Like, what's this new world going to look like? What do y'all think?
Well, we kind of transitioned into that a little bit. Like our past, like I think our last 2 Sundays before the shutdown, we started those social distancing, started practicing those social distancing measures, and I think
I hated that.
yeah, it was difficult. I know, literally, Elder Moore came in and had to spread us out before the meeting because we were so used to just coming in. We were kind of in habit and routine, just coming in, being close with each other. And first thing Elder Moore says is, "I know we all love each other, but everybody spread out."
Yeah,
Never said this before, but everyone's spread out.
Never said it before. It felt weird. I did not.
Right. So I think that I don't know. I think coming back in, I feel like it's going to be necessary to keep those practices in place for our health, but that might just allow us to be able to focus more in on what's happening, and that may make us intentional about zoning in on the word, zoning in on, I think that may help, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All I know is that first service, media ministry where? Because Toya gonna be on the floor somewhere.
Listen.
Media ministry where?
We were screaming them up.
But I think that things are going to go back. I'm crazy enough to believe that God takes care of his people. And I just, I think that things are
You don't watch the news. I don't want to hear it no more.
You're never coming back from that, Courtney.
I don't hear nothing else she said after she said, I don't watch the news. So I don't really know.
Courtney, you're never coming back from this.
I believe that God takes care of his people, and I believe that we will be able to, go back to normal. I think Elder gonna be up there, and he's gonna be able to say, "Why don't you just lean over and we gonna
grab your neighbor by the hand?"
Don't say it. Don't say it. It's too slow. It makes me sad.
Courtney, we're gonna be on one accord. We're gonna be ready when he says it.
I can't say it no more.
That's okay. We'll say it for you.
You know how many substitutes? It don't work. It's.
I know. Well, it's not me. It definitely ain't gonna work. I'm saying it. You got to say it.
You have to say it.
So
you have to say it. I can't. You can't.
Brown, you're gonna be able to put your hand in the little thing and take communion.
I'm gonna tell you, lean over and grab a hand sanitizer or something. I don't know.
Sir, you can't say that.
grab the disinfected wipes or something. I don't know.
You have to do it one time for the one time.
One time. Let's go ahead and say it one time. It's gonna make you feel better. It's gonna bless you. Go ahead and say it.
I've been trying not to say it on this whole 2-month thing. I've been trying just not to think about it. It makes me so sad.
This day.
You said it, and the world saw it thanks to Deacon George.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. He did kind of put me out there. He did kind of put my practice out there. But let me. Because we've been online, because the internet has been, our new sanctuary. Do you think that this is good for evangelism? Like, do you think that more people are coming to know God through this? What do y'all think?
I definitely think because we've been forced to be in this position, this has allowed ministries to be creative about reaching the masses. And I definitely think social media, when it's used properly, is the best tool to do so. Yeah. They don't call it the World Wide Web for nothing. This is how we reach the world. So when you use your tools, when you use what's given you and allow God to lead you, you can't go wrong there. So I definitely think it's been helpful.
Yeah.
That's not me.
That's somebody with the 2G. That's okay, because we're coming to the end. Listen, this is what I want to do. I want to invite everybody on here. See how the devil is busy? This is why we got to get back together, because there's no sound man for me to fuss at right here. So we got to come back to real church. But I want everybody that's watching this, if you have not shared yet, I definitely want you to go ahead and share. But also, I want you to submit any prayer requests that you have. If by chance you need prayer for real, maybe something we've said in the conversation has provoked you to think, and maybe you're realizing, hey, I got some questions that only God can answer for me. I want you to reach out to us today. Inbox us right here on this page. We are ready and willing to stand in the gap with you. and pray with you. If you want to sow into what you've heard, no, I know this is not the normal service or whatnot, but still, sowing is a principle and it works even outside of the sanctuary. So if you want to sow into our church, into our ministry, you can do it right now. The options are right there on your screen. For most of us, the Cash App is probably going to be the most accessible. It's just $FCCATL. We're the kind of ministry where every day, every single day, we are giving away and sending essential workers seed and sending them money just to kind of help brighten their day and lighten their load. Every day, multiple people, we're sending it all over the country. And it is your giving and your faithfulness to God that puts us in position to be able to do those kinds of things. That's not a personal donation from just a part of the church. That's something that God laid on our pastor's heart for the ministry to be seen and be active in people's lives as a distribution center. And so we're supporting essential workers every day. And we're about doing kingdom business. And so if you know good ground when you see it, I want you to sow now. If you want to do it on PayPal, you see how to do that. If you want to go and Givelify, Faith Covenant Church Atlanta. But most of all, if you want to be saved, make sure you contact us today because we want to pray with you. We want to pray with you and make sure that you are where God wants you to be. By way of announcement, we are going to be doing this again on Tuesday. That is our normal living room night, and we're getting in our rotation on Tuesday night. We're going to have another great discussion. I want you to tell a neighbor, tell a friend. And in addition to that, this Sunday, before Tuesday comes, this Sunday, of course, is Mother's Day. So salute to all of the mothers that are watching us tonight. But we want you to know that Sunday service this week will be one service, and it will take place at 1:00 p.m. It will take place at 1:00 p.m. Even though we're quarantined, I know that some families will have special dinner arrangements and dinner plans, or maybe you want to pick something up or you're all cooking. And so Bishop did not want the day to be broken by Shaquavia, I guess. Bishop did not want the day to be. She said, all right, I'm not going to wait for the benediction, but amen. Oh, man. Bishop did not want the day to be broken with our families by 5 p.m. service. So we're going to have worship at 1:00 p.m. And we want you and everybody, to be there. We love you. Ladies on the screen, thank you so much for being a part of our conversation. Let's do it again Tuesday. Love you all. Share it one more time. We'll see you guys soon. Y'all be blessed.
Bye.
Bye, family.